And welcome back to the Cover 3 podcast here on CBS Sports. That's Bud Elliott. That's Tom Fornelli. That's Danny Cannell. It ain't a hurricane, but it's a pretty big storm. And so, in South Florida, he's making it work. We've got all kinds of hotspots, Wi-Fi's, and we're going to try to get this draft in because the Cover 3 Fantasy Draft is something that the listeners been wanting, something that the listeners been talking about. Tom Fornelli, would you like to please indicate what we are doing as we're building the Cover 3 Fantasy Draft rosters?
Sure. Think of it as like a fantasy draft and like your NFL fantasy, your baseball fantasy, where you draft players, but instead we are drafting teams, and then we will keep track of scores as the season goes along to see who gets the most points. And it's a pretty simple format. Our teams will consist of 10 teams each. We will each be drafting at least one team from every Power 5 roster. We will draft 3 teams from the group of 5. And for this practice, Notre Dame counts as a group of 5 team. Join a conference, nerds, if you want to be one. And we also have 2 flex teams, which means they could be anybody. So you could draft 2 SEC teams as long as you meet the rest of your roster requirements. And as far as scoring rules go, it's very simple. You get 1 point for every win. 1 point for every spread cover against the spread, 1 point for appearing in the championship game of your conference, 1 point for winning your conference, a point for appearing in a bowl game, 2 points for being selected to the college football playoff, and 2 points for every win in the college football playoff. And then at the end, we add up all our points, and whoever drafted the best teams is the champion. And I don't know what we win, but we feel good about ourselves.
Okay.
Quick question, or 2 quick questions, because I know Danny's on a battery. Number 1, do all the independents count as G5s?
Yes.
Okay. Number 2, let's say you win a playoff game. That counts for 2 points, right? Is that a 2-point bonus on top of the 1 point that you get for every win?
No, it's just a 2-pointer. It's worth twice as much.
So we don't. So it's not actually worth. Got it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Cool.
Good questions. I personally think most of the teams that will qualify for these 2-point opportunities are going to be gone pretty quick.
I agree.
Not going to apply to most of this, but let's go ahead and let's dive in. Tom, who has the first pick?
Our draft order is Chip. Congratulations. You won my random number generator. You are picking first. Bud is second. Danny is third. And I am last.
I never made myself first in any of the other drafts that we put together this summer, and it finally pays off. Clemson Tigers come on down, number 1 overall, ACC champion. Go ahead and tally up those points. Brian Brzee, ACC Player of the Year, best defense in the country. Let's go Tigers.
Damn it, Chip. That was what I was going to pick. Go ahead and give me Oklahoma here. I have them as my next highest number. And I think they're pretty good odds to win the conference and to make the playoff.
Oh, I love the ticker. This is a new feature. I'm distracted now, but I really do like it. It feels more official. I'm going to take the Ohio State Buckeyes. Big game against Oregon, breaking in a new quarterback, but I think they're going to run through the Big Ten. I think they're going to make it to the playoffs. There's multiple opportunities, Big Ten championship. So I think I got an opportunity for a lot of points here.
So I'm picking last in the first round, and I get to take Alabama, which is perfectly okay with me. So that's what I'm going to do. And you know what? Now I have to decide, do I want to just take over the entire SEC and cover all my bases, or, let's see here. No, I'm going to go Cincinnati.
Mm-hmm. Dang it. I love it. I was hoping you wouldn't go there. Give me the Georgia Bulldogs. Once they get past Clemson, it's a cakewalk. It really is. It's one of the easier schedules that's out there. I also think there's an opportunity with Bama being a little bit susceptible this year with so many moving pieces. Maybe this is the year they get them. So give me the Georgia Bulldogs.
All right. We're going quick here. Trying to keep up.
Oh, am I up now?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. So we got Georgia is off the board. Okay. Ooh. Give me
Bud feels
Oregon.
like he's caught by surprise.
Oregon?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oregon? Damn. All right.
At the turn for my final pick of the second round, I will go with the Wisconsin Badgers. And for my first pick of the second round, I will go with the team from the East Division of the Sun Belt, the Coastal Carolina Chanticleers.
I like that. Okay, so
now I'm not going to do it for you. Just make sure that as you're going, you're meeting the roster requirements.
that you have.
Oh yeah.
Yep. All right. So go ahead and give me. Let's see. Looking to make sure I don't have any numbers I'm missing here. Give me App State. Not near.
Rivals. Rivalry. Bud and I. Only one can make it to the Sun Belt Championship game for that one glorious point.
Give me Louisiana.
Sun
Take the
Belt
Raging Cajuns. Yeah.
All right.
Levi Lewis going to get it done.
That's for Emory.
Hey, Emory.
You felt bad. Emory got up in your DMs after you went under.
Did he really?
No.
Oh, man. I'd love to see what his argument is for Levi Lewis.
All right. Give me North Carolina and UCF.
Go Heels.
Solid pick. Give me. I'm trying to think if I should take this team. Let me look at the criteria one more time. I'll go the Miami Hurricanes.
Damn it.
Wow, I got to scroll all the way down to pool 3.
Yeah, Danny, that was who I was going to pick there too. All right, so now I'm trying to think. Right, what do I want to do?
And now's when it starts getting a little more complicated.
It does. It really does. I'm trying to figure out.
All right. So for those watching youtube.com/cover3, shout out to Jordan for the addition of the ticker, really leading us into a new era. We've got Chip has Clemson, Wisconsin, Coastal Carolina. That is ACC, Big Ten, and group of 5 covered. Bud has Oklahoma, Oregon, App State. He's got Big 12, Pac-12, 1 group of 5 covered. Danny, Ohio State, Georgia, Louisiana, and Miami. That gives him 3 of his Power 5 requirements and 1 group of 5. Tom with Alabama, Cincinnati, North Carolina, and UCF. He has cornered the market on the American Athletic Conference for 2 of his group of 5 positions.
All right, so I have a Big 12 and I have a Pac-12. I still need a Big 10 and I still need an ACC. Oh, God, and an SEC. But I don't care about all that. I
get it later.
I'm going with Toledo.
Oh, I like that pick.
I think that's a 10-win team.
Yeah, I think that's the best team in their conference too.
Maybe. So here at the turn, I will be taking first LSU.
All right.
And Penn State.
Damn.
Okay. So
you've got 2 Big Ten teams already.
Correct.
Just cornering the anybody but Ohio State market.
Oh man. Wait, who is Chip's other Big Ten team?
Penn State at Wisconsin.
Got it. So we have 3 Big Ten teams picked then.
Yeah. Big Ten's dead.
It's disappointing to me because I had another team I wanted to take here.
You said I need a Big Ten and I need an SEC, but forget all that. I'm going with Toledo.
Yeah, that's true.
You could have had Toledo a couple rounds later.
I don't know. You don't think Tom's going to try to snipe Toledo?
I would have totally taken Toledo on my next go around.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So that's a decent drop off there. I will take. Give me. Oh man, this is really tough now. I know I'm supposed to be going faster.
And we cooked through the first little bit. We knew that. We knew that it was going to go fast early and then it was going to get tricky.
I actually appreciate it. It gives me time to catch up.
All right.
Removing teams from the draft pool.
Give me
Okay, now it's
Give me Notre Dame.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dang it. So I was going to take Notre Dame. That was the team I was considering. You don't have the opportunity for a conference championship,
Correct.
but you make up for it with potential playoff, potential against the spreads. So all that. Solid pick. Dang it.
Is Notre Dame a good spread team? There were a couple of teams that I was circling where like I know that they're really good, and if I was just ranking them, but then again, it's only just one other point that's out there, and most teams you imagine are going to end up somewhere close to 500. There's not that much variance above or below, but we'll see. I mean, Notre Dame could just kick everyone's ass and be covering spreads. We'll see. Danny, isn't it you?
Oh, it's my pick? Oh,
yeah.
My bad. I wasn't paying attention. I will go with, it was interesting. I was listening. I did a show yesterday with Brady on HQ, Brady Quinn, and they were taking our picks for the Pac-12. Do you guys know who's favored, according to our guys, to win the Pac-12?
Is it Washington?
No. Arizona
USC.
State. Give me Arizona State Sun Devils. It's a hit or miss. This one could be like, this could look bad at the end, or they could rally the troops around all the investigation that's coming around. They're still talented. Give me ASU.
All right, I'm thrilled to have both of these teams still on the board for my picks here. I'm going to start by giving the Power 5 bias and taking the Power 5 team first. I'll take Iowa State and Boise State.
Oh man, what a Tom.
It's
Boise
very Tom.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Hey, potential Mountain West champion right there.
Oh, we're not knocking it.
Yeah.
All right, so you got your two out of the way. It's me.
Mm-hmm.
Give me. Oh, I'm happy about this one because I need a Big 12 squad. Give me the Texas Longhorns. All gas, no brakes. Here we go.
I cannot believe these teams got back to me. Give me Iowa.
Damn. All right. I was actually
Pumped
sort of
about
hoping
Iowa.
Yeah, because the next two teams on the board in the Big Ten are Indiana and Michigan, and I don't think I love Iowa, but both those teams could miss a bowl if things go wrong.
All right. So right now, I'll work backwards. We are on the final pick of round 6. Tom has Alabama, Cincinnati, North Carolina, UCF, Iowa State, and Boise State. He has fulfilled all. Could group of 5 teams also count as a wild card?
Yeah, you can use G5 in your flex.
Yeah. You've fulfilled your group of 5 requirements with UCF, Boise State, and Cincinnati. You've got SEC, ACC, and Big 12 covered. Danny has Ohio State, Georgia, Louisiana, Miami, Arizona State, and Texas. Got a Big 12, got a Pac-12, got an ACC, got an SEC, got a Big 10. Disciplined Danny checking boxes here in round 6. Bud's got Oklahoma, Oregon, App State, Toledo, Notre Dame, and Iowa. So he's got 1, 2, 3 of his group of 5 requirements, a Big 10, a Pac-12, and a Big 12. Chip right now on Clemson, Wisconsin, Coastal Carolina, LSU, and Penn State. ACC, 2 Big 10s, 1 SEC, and 1 group of 5 has been covered. So we will now take our attention.
Little tease there. Is that we're going out west? Is that what you were going to say?
Yep.
Yeah, we're gonna start by going out west, and I'm gonna take. I gotta say it with my chest. I've been doing it everywhere. Utah. I
like it.
Yeah, like I can't go against what I've done all preseason, every single place where I've been asked to make an expert pick. And then for my next selection, I mean, we're just really sort of dropping off a little bit.
What?
High variance.
It's just insulting the team he's about to take.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. TCU. You tell me that you can say TCU with your chest without understanding that this thing might slide the other way. No, I'm banking on TCU being that team that we have no one's really committed to them as like this awesome dark horse candidate. But I will say that in the Big 12, I was down to TCU and Oklahoma State. I needed a Big 12 team, and in that decision, I'm going to go with the Horned Frogs. Bud, back to you.
Oh man, this gets kind of tough here. I agree. I'm going to go ahead and take. So I feel like they have a better chance of actually doing something. Ooh. Give me Texas A&M.
Yeah.
Solid pick.
Yeah.
Just a lot of
Where they
wins.
Finally go. Yeah, I don't know if you're going to win like a division or get to the conference title game, but you're probably going to rack up a decent amount of wins.
And if I don't get to the division or conference title game, I will most likely be going to a bowl where I'm heavily favored, so I can pick up another dub there.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm going to play the against the spread cover bonus point. Give me Liberty.
Yeah.
I tell you,
no,
Hugh
that's-
Freeze, strong season last year, win total projection around 9. Malik Willis, you want to try to get him in that Heisman conversation. I think you're going to see a ton of offense, running up the point totals, running up some wins. I like it.
I agree. Tom, 2 picks for you.
All right. My first pick, I'm going to take USC. And for my second pick, I'm going to use up one of my flex spots on Florida.
Okay. Yeah. That's where I was going to. You might try something different, by the way, but I'll bring it up later, right after I pick them.
So I've got all 5. I've got my criteria met, right?
Yeah, you have, let's see, you've got.
Oh, I need one more group of 5 is what
Mhm.
I need. But I don't have to go there
No,
yet.
you've got Big 10, SEC, ACC, Pac-12, and Big 12. So you have to take one more group of 5 team, and then you've got 2 flex spots.
But I can pick a team that has made a playoff already. That could be one of the surprises of the year, but we only saw 4 games from them last year.
Mm-hmm.
Give me the
Congrats,
Washington
Huskies.
Huskies.
Yeah.
Yep.
Damn it, Danny.
Well-
Now, like Tom and Danny just sniped both my picks right there. That's
I figured one of them would be gone by the time it got back to me. So it's like, oh crap, I actually have to make a choice here.
I thought you were going to go USC Washington, which gives you a really good chance of landing at least one team in the Pac-12 title game, if not 2.
But it's like I thought Florida was a good value because like after you took A&M, I was like, well, that's all the best teams in the West are gone, but the second best team in the East is still there. So if something happens to Georgia, Florida could suddenly have a higher ceiling.
Oh, yeah.
That's true. All right. For my next one, who do I want to take? Oh God. Okay, now my plan's totally thrown off. This is tough. I don't want to pull a Minnesota Vikings and just pass here. You had to put me on the clock. I actually think this team has a decent chance to do something, and it's a team. I don't know if we've even talked about them right on this podcast so far. About freezing. Like I can't pull them up.
What conference are they in?
Well,
We haven't talked about them.
They were in CUSA, which we don't talk about a whole lot. I'm gonna take. Or should I take them? You know what? Give me. Can I do it?
You got to talk it out.
Give me Marshall. Give me Marshall.
All right, yeah. That's
You've
a
got-
good piece of pick.
That's a flex pick just to make.
It is.
I
I have all conferences but the ACC, right?
Yeah, shout out to Charles Huff and the Marshall Thundering Herd. I like that. They were on my top 40 big board.
Mhm.
Certainly an option for one of these flex spots, not one of these flex spots, one of these group of 5 spots. I only have Coastal Carolina. Looks like I'm going to start another rivalry here as Bud and I already have Coastal and App against each other. It's time for me to take Ball State and their 22 super seniors coming off a strong season under Mike New last year, bringing back Drew Plitt and a bunch of the key pieces of the offense. That is my number 2 group of 5 spot. And now I will go to at number 9. I'll take Ole Miss because Lane loves covering for the donors at home games. And I know that while their overall win total, might not be matching what I might be able to get, with an 8, a 9, or a 10, at least those against the spread covers when they kick in the back door with Matt Corral will be able to get me some points on weekends, even when they lose. Bud, back to you.
I like all of those picks right there, Chip. For my next one, I'm going to go and take. Don't do that.
Now, what you've got Big 12, Pac-12.
I still need an
Big
ACC.
10. So you need an ACC and you've got a flex.
All right. I kind of feel fairly good about this one, actually. Go ahead and give me Nevada.
Love it.
Oh, that's a solid pick this late in the draft.
Give me UTSA.
Oh, Danny, look
That
at
was the
you
other one
with
I was
the
going
pull.
to take, Danny. That is a good pull.
Let's go.
Oh,
Crap. Okay.
Now
so
I need what? I need a power 5. All right.
Can I recruit? Hell yeah, I can recruit. Look at my wife, hot as fish grease. Jeff Traylor, DeGaulle.
oh, there's a team I forgot to take.
Now I've got to think a little bit here.
Tom's going to snipe it.
Tom's about to round out his roster. He's got Alabama, Cincinnati, North Carolina, UCF, Iowa State, Boise State, USC, and Florida.
I've got a flex.
But he's got to
and
take
I
a Big
gotta
Ten
pick a 10 team. So I got to figure out who I'm going to do with my flex here.
Well, go ahead and take your Big Ten team.
No. Crap. Do I want to do that or do I want to? Because I've got 2 of them. All right.
There's still a.
I know. I'm just there's some game theory at play here. All right. I'll just take because I've got too many AAC teams already. So I'm going to take San Jose State. And for my Big Ten team, I'm going to take. Oh God.
Illinois. He's going to take Michigan.
Illinois.
Do it.
Illinois.
Michigan.
Okay.
Michigan. Why isn't it?
That's
It's like it won't even format.
It won't
correctly
go
in the
bold.
doc. It's like, no, Tom, don't do it. Don't do it.
YouTube.com/cover3 if you want to watch the
I
draft.
cannot
in
wait
real
for our
time.
historian to see that Indiana went undrafted.
Oh.
Oh no.
Andrew,
Tom took Michigan over there.
come on, Danny. You can save. How many Big Ten do you have so far? You got Ohio State.
I've already got it covered.
Get some Big Ten East insurance and get the Hoosiers for Andrew, the Cover 3 historian.
All right. So I'll talk it out because one of you guys are going to take this team. But I think it's like I took the under on Indiana, right? And I felt bad about it. So I'll go ahead and buy into Tom Allen. Give me the Hoosiers to save the day. I was going to take it. I'll tell you I was going to take later. I'm going to take Indiana.
All right.
Bud.
I mean, there's a team out there that I absolutely should have taken, and I can't take them because I'm already maxed on G5s, and I have to take an ACC team. So I'll tell you guys after the draft if you remind me. But for now, I mean, I just feel like I kind of got to do it. Give me State Wolfpack.
Oh. I mean, if you're going to go with if you're going to go with an ACC team, all right. I
Better Pitt, right?
Yeah,
I guess.
Yeah, I'm sitting here and I've got it's the final pick of the draft. I need to get a group of 5 team. I've got San Diego State and SMU on the board. San Diego State feels like they're going to be real solid for a lot of wins, but can I trust them to cover a lot of spreads? I can trust them for a lot of unders. There's nothing more beautiful than tucking yourself into bed with the 10:30 p.m. Eastern time kickoff on CBS Sports Network. San Diego State running the rock and forcing 3 and outs. That's how you cash unders. That's how you finish a Saturday well. But I've been going with some high variance here. I've been sniffing around SMU, and so I will make them the last edition. I will go with the SMU Mustangs for my 10th and final pick. To review, Chip has Clemson, Wisconsin, Coastal Carolina, LSU, Penn State, Utah, TCU, Ball State, Ole Miss, SMU. Bud has Oklahoma, Oregon, App State, Toledo, Notre Dame, Iowa, Texas A&M, Marshall, Nevada, NC State. Danny, Ohio State, Georgia, Louisiana, Miami, Arizona State, Texas, Liberty, Washington, UTSA, Indiana. Tom has Alabama, Cincinnati, UNC, UCF, Iowa State, Boise State, USC, Florida, San Jose State, and Michigan. And coming up on the other side, we will break these down. We will offer some questions, some analysis, some insight, grading the Cover 3 fantasy draft next. Well, Danny made it through the draft. And I'm glad we didn't have to convey, like we already were putting the listeners in a little bit of a precarious position as we were talking out our like round 6, 7, 8, and 9 picks. If we also had to wait for the delay of conveying the information via text and then receiving it via text, then I think that, at that point I might have just started playing records back here. We could have just had some music to make the experience enjoyable. Again, if you want to watch on youtube.com/cover3, this is a great episode to do that, just because we've got the full draft board and producer Jordan absolutely killing it with the ticker, running everything down. Though I do think that I did not take into consideration what a ticker would do to Danny's attention and focus within the midst.
Jordan, can you put any scores on there? Like any games going on right now?
So as we look at the entire draft board and as we start to break it down, Danny mentioned before his final pick that there was one team he was thinking about. He has informed us that was the UCLA Bruins. I would say that among Power 5 teams, UCLA, Oklahoma State, and Minnesota are probably my highest ranked that did not get drafted. What about y'all?
For me, the highest was Oklahoma State, Indiana, and then a couple like Pitt, Virginia Tech, Auburn, BC.
I ditto all those mentioned. I did not have Auburn in there, but Kentucky was my other P5. The G5 that I realized I absolutely messed up on, and I was just hoping and praying nobody else was going to take him, is UAB.
Yeah.
UAB is probably the favorite in that league, like in the betting markets, and is a decent bet to get to 8-4. And I was like, shoot, like if they win 8, they're probably doing okay against the spread. They might win their division, and then they end up, playing for the conference title. And when that's a whole lot of bonus points potentially there that I just whiffed on.
Yeah, I was between for like that San Jose State pick. I was considering Houston, but I already had Cincinnati and UCF, so I didn't want to have 3 American Athletic Conference teams. Then the other teams were Army and UAB. And I just went with San Jose State.
What about San Diego State? Do you have the same concerns that I did, that they weren't going to cover spreads?
It's not so much that, it's just I don't project them to win as many games.
Because their win total, I think, is around 8 or something. Like they've got one of the higher win totals in the Mountain West Conference.
I did a decent amount of prep for this, and I absolutely could not figure out a way to predict everybody, like how well they would do against the spread. And I was like, you know what? It's like 11 o'clock at night, and I'm going to bed.
Well, that's one of those things where you just kind of got to hope.
And he figured it out though with Liberty like that. I think that's actually probably true. They're going to try and blow people out.
And aren't most teams by the end of the season going to end up closer to 500 against the spread?
That was my thought too.
That's typically how it works. But there are always like those teams that just end up going like 9-3 against the spread somehow. Well, and they're usually terrible teams, which is also what kind of makes it fun for this draft, because it's like, I don't know.
I mean, that's my Ole Miss. Like the Ole Miss backdoor is the way that I can get points again when Ole Miss plays the toughest teams on its opponents. The toughest opponents on its schedule. Let's see. So Tom, when you said you were running some game theory, did you go into it figuring that you wanted to try to get the top 2 from the American Athletic Conference, figuring that the American Athletic Conference also is going to be producing some of the highest the winningest teams at the group of 5 level? I
mean, I feel like my strategy very much was, I wanted, like you'll notice I had the 3 turns because I was at the 4th spot. So on each of my first 3 turns, I took a group of 5 team. I wanted to make sure I got top G5 teams, and I wanted to make sure I got teams that I thought could compete for, their conference title. Obviously, both Cincinnati and UCF can't compete for a conference title, but I was looking around. It was, I kind of wish I would have taken Toledo, to be honest with you. I kind of regretted taking UCF over Toledo in the end, but I just think that UCF's got a chance to win 9-10 games and get to the AAC title game. So at least that way I'm kind of guaranteed conference championship points in that matter. And then Boise State, I just thought that was amazing value at that pot because nobody from the Mountain West had been taken. And I feel like them and Nevada were the 2 teams that are probably the most likely to win the conference. So getting Boise State in the 6 was just I was pretty pumped about that.
I like that a lot.
Yeah. Any other notes or thoughts from the draft board? I got one or two headlines, including a couple just starting quarterback stuff I want to run by before we get out of here.
I haven't done Danny's yet. I just plugged in everybody's scores, and like we are really, really like among my projections, right? So I took and just basically I figured out like your conference title odds and all that stuff, and I just threw them into Tom's scoring system. Obviously, they're my projections, so I'm going to come out first. Otherwise, I'm doing a really bad job of drafting if I don't pick the teams. But this is really, really close, right? So Bud 111, Chip 104, Tom 108. Like nobody is blowing this thing away. I haven't run Danny's yet, but I can. Well, Chip vamps and talks about the QB headlines.
So we are recording here on Wednesday, as we often do, and we have Texas A&M has named Haynes King as the starting quarterback for the beginning of the season. You know, this is one of those situations where the conversation that we had here on the podcast felt like no matter who ended up getting it, either King or Zach Calzada, that we were probably going to be looking to continue with the same expectations. But I think that also, you know, as offensive coordinator Darryl Dickey, as Jimbo Fisher, as they're trying to figure out, you know, what the Texas A&M offense is going to be, and as we continue to look for Texas A&M and beg Texas A&M to have more explosiveness, they are going to have the ability to do some mobile quarterback stuff, to be able to extend the play. That's really what Haynes King is able to provide over Zach Calzada. So with neither of them having much starting experience, do you all expect that we can look at this starting quarterback at Texas A&M? And I don't know if it increases your expectations. Might be interesting if it does, but does it at least help you get a better idea of what you are looking to see when Texas A&M takes the field on offense?
I don't think Bud would have drafted Texas A&M if they hadn't named Haynes King QB.
I was probably going to take Florida if it was still up in the air, but that they went ahead and announced it. Yeah, I think he was probably expected to win the job. One other wrinkle here is, you know, Haynes King's a very good athlete. Will they use his athleticism intentionally, like not just scrambles, but will they incorporate that into the offense some? Early on, I thought they did that at times with Mond. I'll be interested to see, you know, how much more they do that, because I think there's potential for Haynes King to be an even better athlete than Kellen Mond was. He's got some juice.
Tyler Shuck is named a starter at Texas Tech. We mentioned like that. Do you like that for like?
I'm all over the over 4.5 for Texas Tech. I think they can go to a bowl, and he's not bad.
Yeah. And him leaving was the old, you know, is Tyler Shuck leaving? Tyler Shuck ain't leaving because he thinks that Anthony Brown's going to beat him out. He's leaving because he's also seeing Ty Thompson in the room, right?
I think so. I mean, there could be stuff behind the scenes there. I'm not like implying. I literally don't know. That Texas Tech game at Houston, well, it's neutral site, right? I think.
I believe so. Yeah.
You know, they're favored by 1.5. If I'm going to hit that win total, I need them to go ahead and clip Houston.
I hereby nominate that we call any touchdowns that Tyler Shuck throws oysters.
Yes.
So that way we could say he's shucking oysters.
Yes. Yeah. There, and it is marked, rubber stamped. We can talk about how many oysters Shuck. How many oysters shucked on a Saturday?
Oh man, if he throws a dozen or a half dozen, that would be.
It's getting aphrodisiacal in that Texas Tech offense.
Yeah, we'll celebrate when Shuck hits a dozen.
Are you guys oysters guys?
Oh yeah.
Who isn't really?
Yeah,
I mean, some people don't like them. Yeah, I guess. I like
the consistency texture people that get freaked out and miss out on the opportunities for incredible flavor combinations.
Correct. Yeah, I'm definitely a big oyster guy.
Do you get real specific if you're sitting around like what? Like, are you very specific about like, I want to have like this hot sauce or like this horseradish or this, and like putting together a whole little sandwich? Maybe you break out the saltine cracker. You know, you're sitting around the wood table. The trash can is in the middle of the wood table. What are you dressing that oyster with?
Sometimes a little horseradish, generally just a couple shakes of Louisiana hot sauce. Shout out, sponsor of the Nolecast. So, you know.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't really bother with the cracker. I just usually just shoot a little hot sauce right into the shell. slurping.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I use hot sauce. Although again, I live in Chicago, so there are you have to pick and choose your oyster spots. You can't just it's you got to be at the right place.
Are you guys see the ticker?
All right, and then one more quarterback related headline. Not only do we anticipate that it's going to be electric in the dome, but we're also going to have two quarterbacks. I mean, yeah. Syracuse coach Dino Babers has indicated that when the season starts, we're going to have both Tommy DeVito out there and Garrett Schrader, the artist last seen trying to hold Mississippi State's offense together as well as he can. Both Tommy DeVito and Garrett Schrader are going to be out there. I guess we're looking.
Punches.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we're looking for the complementary styles there. Any big reaction to the fact that we're going to just be seeing a very old school college football approach to going out there and trying to throw the kitchen sink and figure out ways to win.
I mean, I'm kind of torn because it's like, the whole you have two quarterbacks, you don't have one kind of thing. So it's like I kind of want to fade them, but then I look at the line and I see that they're 1-point underdogs on the road against Ohio to open the season,
which doesn't have Frank Solich.
No, so
I think it's just pragmatic. Syracuse's offensive line is the only thing that has made FSU's offensive line feel good about itself over the last 2-3 years. Your quarterbacks always get hurt because they just get absolutely wrecked behind that line. Like, let's just not pretend that one QB is going to be the guy going through the season, and we'll play both because we're going to have to.
Whoever survives the longest behind this line gets the job.
Exactly.
I think I would go Schrader there just because he's a little thicker. DeVito's got a little bit of the injury history as well, but fascinating things to watch as this Syracuse team, which the expectations are not high based on odds, based on win total, based on all the predicted order of finishes that you're going to see at cbssports.com and around the country. So where are the wins going to be? And I don't just mean in the standings in the win column, but like the victories, the things to feel good about. Maybe the two quarterback system produces some of that. Gentlemen, next time we meet, it will be the very first Locks episode of the season. It won't be that beefy, but we will find ways to take this week 0 slate and give you a couple winners each, maybe even a few props, some sides, some totals, a money line sprinkle. Our best bets for week 0 coming up in the week 0 locks next time we meet together. You can follow him on Twitter at BudElliott3. You can follow him at Tom Fernelli. You can follow me at Chip_Patterson. Gentlemen, thank you very much.
Thank you.